All right, welcome back, everybody, to the second installment of what was to be my weekly news toy show. But I decided that I might not keep that exact schedule. So I told you this was a work in progress. So we are already going to rebrand this show from a What's New This Week to simply Toy News Alert, because Toy News Alerts can happen at any time. So I don't want to have it set to any one particular schedule. I might do a couple of these in the same week. It depends on what kind of news drops and what I find personally interesting and worth sharing with you fellow collectors out there. So hopefully you don't mind the quick little rebrand, but that's what I plan to do going forward here on Toy Informer. So I know our last episode was on a Tuesday. Now I'm dropping this one on a Sunday. So it's not going to have an exact schedule. It's going to be as things happen and as things happen that I find worth sharing. So hopefully you don't mind that, and hopefully you're on board for that, as I also have a new top 10 toys coming your way. It seems even though it was old, everybody liked the G.I. Joe Classified show, so I actually have one set to do a new updated version of that G.I. Joe Classified show with a lot of the newer exclusives that have come out over the last few years since that original video aired back in like 2021 or whatever it was now. So with that said, plenty of new stuff coming your way here on this new channel, but also make sure you check out my comic book channel, Renovision, if you haven't already. But this is my little pet project, my little side project. So I hope you're enjoying this, and I hope you keep telling your friends so we can keep growing this tiny little channel into something more fun and include more of you guys in the conversation. So maybe I can think about doing live shows, etc. Because right now, with the few amount of subs that we have now, doing a live show wouldn't make sense to just chat with only a potential pool of just a couple of people. So maybe down the line, we'll think about working some live shows into the channel here on Toy Informer. But for now, this is just my little side project thing. So it's just me running this solo and doing some fun toy videos that I find personally interesting. So hopefully you're on board for that as I start to build this thing out, redo some of the old shorts, sort of remix some of those rundowns on some of those older toy, toy lines, etc., and just have some fun talking about new toys coming out as well as the nostalgic stuff that we all know and love. But speaking of the new stuff, that's what we're here to talk about today. So without further ado, and more pomp and circumstance, again, this is a new channel, so I'm doing a lot of extra talking as I plan and think this through on the fly. But this is our new show, so that's what we're going to get into right after this short little intro. Alrighty, as I mentioned in the open there, this may not be weekly, so this is what's new this week, but it's only been a couple of days since our last update, so we are shifting it over to Toy News Alert, as I mentioned in there in the open. So this is your Toy News Alert for June 30th, 2024. And with this alert, we have a little bit of follow-up to some of the news we just had on Tuesday. Speaking more directly about San Diego Comic-Con, because there have been some more announcements of things coming our way that I think are worth talking about. So again, I grabbed some of this information here from Action Figure Insider, and let's just look at this week's news. Starting off with Diamond. Diamond unveiled that they're releasing a bunch of stuff for San Diego Comic-Con. And while they will most likely have some of this stuff at the convention, a lot of these items are open order for shops to order to have them after San Diego. So they will premiere in San Diego, but they will be available pretty much everywhere if your shop decides to order them. I got a buddy who owns a comic shop, and he was telling me about some of these things that he was ordering for his shop and what he thought and what I thought was cool for him to order. And so let's just run through some of that stuff that Diamond had put out there for order. Starting off with this Batman. It's 11 inches tall. It's to be that 1/8 scale. This is an exclusive for San Diego, but again, shops could order this to have this after the convention. It is a black and white PVC figure statue. It has that kind of artist rendering kind of look there. As you can see, like the black and white. DC's been doing a lot of that look lately. I think it's kind of cool. It's a little bit different, but it's trying to blur that line between 2D and 3D. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. This is kind of cool in that kind of grayscale black and white look. Again, a little closer in here. You can see, like I said, how they do some of the shattering to make it look like it's 3D, but it's a toy, so it already is 3D. I don't have any MSRP information for you on this. I could have gotten it if I wanted to do a little bit of digging, but it wasn't available in the article I was looking at. So it's not really important. It's kind of an early announcement bit. This will be a statue that's available for you to get, whether you go to San Diego directly or, like I said, at your shops soon after. But Batman's not the only one that they decided to do. They also decided to do a Superman, yeah, because why not? Where's Wonder Woman is what I'm saying. If you're going to do the Trinity, I mean, you might as well keep it a Trinity. Don't just do 1 and 2. But they're just doing the 1-2, and they made Superman a little bit taller. He's 12 inches. I think it's because his cape goes up. I don't think it's because of the height of the figure, because, you know, they don't want to make Superman look bigger than Batman, etc. So I think it's because you can see there the cape goes above Soup's head. So I think that's why he measures out at 12 inches, whereas Bats was only 11. Once again, it's that black and white PVC figure. You can see here as they're doing the little, you know, kind of a cross-hatching little bit lines here to give you some texture and some again, this 3D looks, but it's a 3D figure. I don't know. Like I said, it's kind of cool, kind of different. Then you got here the cape. You can see him gripping it into his hand as it's kind of flowing and blowing up above his head. Yeah, interesting little figure. I don't know if I'm going to be into getting these because I don't really like, I don't collect many statues to begin with, mostly because I don't have the space to store them as much as I might like to have them. I don't have like an infinite amount of shelves that I can put these things up and display and show them off. So real estate is comes at a huge premium here in my house. So comics are taking up most of it, and then the toys take up the rest. So statues, as much as I might like it, I got no room for you right now. Maybe somewhere down the line, but for now, let's move on to some of the other things that Diamond is making available. Again, after the convention. Convention first. Afterwards, you can get them in shops. We got this little buddy. We got this 24-inch plush. It's like it's a bleacher buddy. It's kind of like those old wrestling pals. Remember those little knockaround dudes? You had the, you know, Hulk Hogan and they did like Rock and Undertaker later, Stone Cold. But it's a bleacher buddy plush, 24 inches, so it's 2 feet tall. It's limited to 1,500 pieces. I'm just kind of zooming in here so you can see kind of the texture of it's like a little pillow person, little stuffed plushy thing. So it should be gentle to the touch and probably pretty nice to kind of just, you know, use as a pillow if you want to cuddle up with your Hulk. And yeah, so we got a Hulk here. This is to celebrate Hulk 181. So that's where we're getting this, you know, it's been 50 years now, I guess. What is it, 1974? So yeah, I guess 24. Yeah, 50 years of Wolverine. That's right. Wow, time flies, huh? But anyway, we got our plushy 2 foot tall Hulk. And to scale, and as I said, as part of this Hulk 181 anniversary, there is a little Wolvie too. So we have an 8-inch plush Wolverine version to go with that 24-inch Hulk. Also available at San Diego this year. 8-inch plush, again, you can order these from, well, Diamond has them available for shops to order for afterwards. Also limited to 1,500 pieces. Got to pair them up, if you will. No Wendigo, as far as I know. So it's just the 2. But it is, again, for that Hulk 181. And it's a fun little guy. I mean, it's not comic accurate exactly because it's a little plush dude with a little big head. But, yeah, it's a little plush buddy. What do you want? Kind of fun. Also, if you like blankets, they are offering a throw blanket. I believe this is a double-sided blanket. So you get the issue 1 and issue 13. So you know how those original Spider-Man run the O's. They had the red suit, and then they redid the cover, homaging himself, Todd did, with the black suit on issue 13. So you get both of these on this limited to 2,000 blanket if you want to go and get yourself a blanket with Spidey on it. I mean, it is kind of a fun thing. Again, I talked to my buddy who's got a shop about this, and he was like, I don't know if it makes sense. I'm like, yeah, it's kind of tough to sell a blanket in a comic book shop because it's going to be all folded up. So nobody will be able to appreciate what it is just if you see it on a shelf or, you know, in a little shopping area, like in the shop, like with the t-shirts and whatnot. So I don't know. So I don't even think he ordered one of these because I don't think his crowd would be looking for this. But 63 inches by 45 inches, it's a decent sized little blanket. It's fleecy, so that's also kind of nice. But if you want your Spidey blanket, there will be one available at San Diego. If you like toy boxes, they got you covered there too with this pretty cool Spider Punk. Even comes with a thermos. Can't have a lunchbox without a thermos. I mean, that just goes without saying. So I think this is kind of fun. 2024 San Diego, again, exclusive, but then you can get it afterwards if your shop ordered some. That said, that's the Diamond stuff. And again, some cool stuff and some cool stuff. Again, if you can't make it to San Diego, you might be able to get it at your shop. The rest of this stuff, or the next bit of this stuff, may not be available at your shop. It's going to be San Diego announcements, and this is Hasbro's pile of announcements that they gave us just the other day. I think it was yesterday, actually, for some things that they're going to be bringing to San Diego this year. Starting off with this two-pack. So you got Optimus and you got a Megatron. It's Gladiator versus Security Officer. So Legacy United, whatever that branding is. I have a hard time keeping up with the current Transformers because I don't know, the plastic just isn't the same to me. I don't know. People tell me that they're still good and they're still high quality, but I don't know. It's just something. It doesn't seem right to me if it's all plastic. I remember my old Transformers, and there's bits of metal in there. There's no metal. I don't know if there's not going to be any weight to it. I don't know. That said, Fractured Friendship 2-pack. So you can see here in this box, this is going to be a 2-pack where you can get both of these figures. It'll be $74.99 to purchase at San Diego if you want to get it. You can see them both transform there into their robots versions. And then they are, in this iteration, a security truck of some kind, and it looks like a drilling tank. So slightly different. It's not your traditional original Generation 1 Transformer looks, but that's the thing. It's another offshoot brand, so it's something a little bit different. But they kind of look cool still. I mean, this Optimus doesn't look bad. It looks like it's pretty well flexible and opposable. So there's a lot of points of articulation with the fact that it does still transform into a truck, and it looks like a working truck. And same thing with Megatron here. He looks like he's got a sword and a little mallet there, and he's also turns into this like drill thing. Also makes more sense to put Megatron in as a vehicle or some form of equipment that matches up against a truck because it never really made sense in the cartoon. We all been suspended disbelief as a kid, like why he would shrink down and Soundwave would use them, but whatever. We're not going to get too deep into the weeds on that one. I mean, it was the 80s. It's still great to me, but this is what we got coming out at San Diego. Also, connecting with that nostalgic era, we have something from G.I. Joe coming out at San Diego this year. We have this Cobra Commander. This will be number 130. I was trying to collect these classified figures, and I got a ton of them, but man, I had to slow down because they just keep coming. There's 130. This is wow. And this is like I don't know how many Cobra Commanders we've made already, but it's a fun one though. Cobra Commander Once a Man. This is going to be an exclusive for San Diego. This will be $39.99, and you can see this is the transitioning to like a snake. Because I don't remember if you remember that episode. He did this did happen to Cobra Commander in the cartoon, but yeah, so they even include like the little almost full-on little Cobra bit there. It's got a pretty cool box that comes with it as well that you can open and you can see the figure inside. Gotta love that. I love when you can actually see the figure inside without having to open it. So if you like to keep it mint in box, you still can, but still open and appreciate what the toy actually looks like and make sure that it's actually in there. And then you can see all the extra little bits with the fists and knives and weapons and masks, etc. It's kind of cool. So yeah, and you can switch out the head and put the mask on him, or you can take the mask off and he can be a full-on snake face. That's your choice. And then you even have this full-on snake, little snake with arms. It's almost like Globulus. Like I said, still pretty cool figure. And for 40 bucks, who knows? Like I said, I've got a top 10 toys coming later this week that will be covering G.I. Joe classified exclusives like this. So who knows? This one might make the list next time out because these things can sometimes go for a pretty decent premium down the line. So it all depends on supply and demand, and we'll see how it goes with this one. But Once a Man, Cobra Commander is pretty fun. All right, moving on and keeping this thing rolling, we do have something on Marvel. We have a Death's Head figure coming out of Marvel Legends, and I got to say, I'm tired of seeing these card cover comics where they just make the comic look like one of the old trading cards from back in the day. But there's something about putting it in the box. This actually, I like this. I like this a lot, actually. This looks like those Marvel Impel cards from back in the day. I think this was Wave 2, this design. But yeah, it works to me as a box. And Death's Head, he's an underappreciated UK character. And he comes with these pretty cool weapons. You got a mace and like a mallet and axe and shield and all that fun stuff. So Death's Head, cool. He was a tie-in too with Transformers, which is also an interesting little tidbit about Death's Head. But yeah, like I said, this box, I just really dig this box. It works as a with the card cover look. And here's a couple more looks of what the figure looks like with the pieces without the distraction of the box, and it's fully posable. You can do some cool stuff with them. And you check out, you can see like he's standing there with the cape, and you got the weapons kind of showing off there because you can actually have them back there behind that cape, which again, I like that when you can actually like store and pose and put these things. Yeah, it's nice to have all these little extras, but when you don't have a place to put them, they can easily get lost. But if you can just put them like in his back there and store them up, that makes it all makes it all the easier, especially if you open this thing. All right, what else has Hasbro given us? But a little bit of Star Wars. So we are getting a throwback figure to Episode One since it's the 25th anniversary of Phantom Menace. So we are getting this Darth Maul and the Sith Speeder, which was a cool little moment in the movie. I mean, there wasn't a lot to love about Phantom Menace, and I'm a Star Wars fan, as you all know. But there's a lot to not like. But Darth Maul, I think, is one that most people did like out of that film, and this was pretty cool when he came in on this little speeder thing and then jumped right in to fight Qui-Gon as they were, escaping, yeah, and whatnot. But moving on here, we've got $60 on this thing. It's $60 for this figure, and it's going to be just something that you can get, if you want to go tie into that nostalgia from Phantom Menace. It's a pretty cool figure. I mean, you got some soft goods there with the cloak. You get a little side vehicle, so you add that all in. 60 does seem a little bit steep. This feels like it should be closer to 40, maybe 50, but $60 is the ask right now. So if you want it, you know, that's what you got to shell out for it. But it does come with that little droid thing that he talks to, his little probe thing. So you got that going for it. But so apart from a vehicle, the whole cloaked up look, the double saber, which also looks like it splits because it does, as we can see here. Boom, you got your double saber. Then he can split them and put one in each hand, which is also kind of fun. So $60 on that one, and exclusive to San Diego if you want to go and get it. With that said, we have another bit that came out this week. This is not actually San Diego related, so we're going to kind of move on to some other toy news of things announced that are coming out. This came hot on the heels of the most recent episode of The Acolyte. So right away, like they dropped this, like, boom, you guys like that? We got a helmet for you. And I dig this helmet. I like it. It kind of looks a little like a bit of like a Chainsaw Man kind of vibe or something out of a weird anime, but I dig it. I dig it. Looks like teeth going across the front of it. It's creepy, but not overly creepy, and cool in a weird, kind of way. I don't know. I like this. It looks better than most of the Knights of Ren. But Hasbro revealed this. They're calling him the Stranger from the Acolyte because we don't have all the details yet. I mean, he said some people call him a Sith, but that doesn't mean that he's a Sith. We don't know a lot yet. But the helmet will be $100. We know that. And it is electronic. I think there's some light up things inside of it too that help it for the display. But so you got to put batteries in these things. But $100, it's not too bad. It's a pretty cool display, and you can even wear it if you can fit your head. I know some people's heads may not fit, but for most, you can even put this on. But like I said, I like the design. I think this is a pretty cool helmet, and like I said, you can look inside and see. Let's see what you got in there. But pretty cool, if you ask me. I like the design, and I think this is I don't know. We'll see if they make one of these Lego ones of it, but I doubt it. I doubt that it'll work in the same way as a Lego. But I don't know, $100, something to think about. It is something to think about. But with that said, no, I know what you're thinking. That's it. It's not it. I just wanted to take a pause because now we're moving away from like the Star Wars and the San Diego announcements into some other toy news. So it's not all exactly about that because apart from San Diego being next month, Walmart is doing their weird little toy convention thing. It's like an online exclusive thing where they'll sell some online exclusives, and they've had it the last couple of years. Some of these figures do well. Some of them doesn't matter, but they are announcing a couple of the DC things because DC and Walmart seem to be doing a lot of exclusives together around this Walmart con. So it's like a toy con just through Walmart.com. But in this case, they're going to have a Max Mercury and a Vampire Shazam that you can get through this, the McFarlane Gold Label figures through this online convention. I got this one out of Toy Arc. There was a little news item about this I thought was kind of cool. And yeah, I mean, they're not bad figures. I mean, the McFarlane toy designs are good. It's just they make so many toys that I just don't really need. That makes sense. Like they just make too many. Like I don't need 90 different Batman figures. It's just I can't collect all of those. So you don't have to make so many. But at the same time, it is nice to have that variety. It just seems sometimes like I don't know who was clamoring for a vampire Shazam, but it's kind of cool to have one. But it's kind of cool that I can just look at it, but I don't think I'm actually going to go shell out the bucks to buy it, if that makes sense. But I don't know cost on these things yet. Most likely it'll be like pretty close to regular figures. It's just exclusively available through that like that online convention that they'll have on Walmart. But also kind of tying in, I think with San Diego, they McFarlane is doing something, but there's not a lot of details yet on it. But going back to the San Diego news, we are getting the convention exclusive Superman. So this is following, the death of Superman, so the funeral for a friend. It's like the gold statue that there was there on that Adventures of Superman cover. Pretty cool. I mean, again, this is kind of a fun little thing. It's almost having like a statue for action figure prices. So that's always nice to do, have for collectors that we can get stuff like this and not have to spend $300 on an awesome statues that are out there. You can buy like a figure that's much more affordable. That said, I don't know what this will cost yet because again, details aren't out there as to exactly when this will be available or how much this will be. It says convention exclusive and it does say San Diego, but I don't know if it's just going to be exclusive to San Diego or if it'll be like at San Diego and the Walmart thing or what. But it is coming a little bit later, so in a couple of weeks. So those are some things that happened in the last couple of days of some announcements of things coming up in the future conventions and things that'll be released, open for pre-order, etc. But there are a few things that I think we can talk about right now that are available right now. So let's just get into those. Again, not a lot. I don't want to make this too long of a show. It is supposed to be a quick little news rundown, but available now. A couple things that stood out to me that I think are pretty cool. Starting off with this Odin figure. This is part of Marvel Legends, the 85th anniversary of Marvel, not of Marvel Legends, because they haven't been making those toys that long. But Marvel Legends 85th anniversary. This Odin is pretty cool. Dub kind of covered it on TAC a week or so ago, but just reminding you, it's out there, it's available. It is $60, which is a hefty price for a Marvel Legends figure, but it is a hefty figure to go with that. You can see here, it's got this big old box, a lot of extra accessories here that come with them. Helmet comes off, you can swap out the hands, etc. A couple of ravens. It is pretty cool, and it does stand 8.2 inches tall. So as opposed to most of the 6 inches figures, this is a couple inches taller, a little bit wider. It's going to be a little bit heavier. So you're getting a little bit more for your $60. But $60 still is a healthy buy-in. But as I said, you're getting a lot of cool stuff. You got, it looks like a little soft goods cape there on the back. You got a raven, pretty elaborate helmet headgear there. And just, yeah, pretty cool figure. This would be one I wouldn't mind opening, but $60, I don't know if I could convince myself to open it. I haven't gotten many Marvel Legends lately, mostly because, again, space is limited. And after a while, you just start to get tub after tub, and you're like, how many more of these can I buy? Can I get this entire wave? Do I need anything out of this wave? Do I need to build a figure? All those questions start to arise, and then you got to start making decisions of, do I do it? Do I not do it? But anyway, Odin is available now. You can get him now for that $60. One more thing that is available now that my wife sent to me, she thought would be interesting, but she also knew I would not want to buy it, which is why she shared it with me, because she doesn't want me buying a lot of these toys. But I did get a good chuckle out of it. And that is this Transformer crossover with Target. Yeah, I don't like these crossovers. I like the crossovers, the mashups of the G.I. Joe with the Transformers. That's cool. I don't need the mashups with the companies. Like, I don't need the Pepsi-Cola Optimus, for instance. That even happened way, way, way back in the day. But this Target Optimus, it's just not for me. I just don't care, personally. It is kind of fun, but I don't need this. I'd rather just have re-release G1 over this. But still, another $60 purchase will get you this Optimus and Bullseye, apparently. So you're not only getting the truck with the Target logo all slapped across it, there is also what looks to be like a little the little dog, the little Target mascot. So getting into this, you get the truck. It's kind of cool. Still not exactly the old school Optimus with the flat front. It's more of the movie Transformer version of Optimus, but he transforms into a robot, and you can see he's holding that bullseye in his hand, which I think in this case is like a gift card. But you'll see that it is basically a reworked Ravage, it looks like to me, because there it is, and the back end of the truck still opens like the original. So you got that. And yeah, let me get you another picture here. So you got the trailer with the Target stuff slapped all across it, and then you got the dog that transformed into what looks like a cassette tape. Right? Was it Ravage? Or was Ravage? Yeah, Ravage. Laserbeak was the bird, and then Rumble and the other dude. Anyway, don't want to get lost in the weeds talking about the G1 Transformers, but it looks like it's a gift card in this case. Kind of still looks cassette tape like, because they just reused the working model probably, and they made this the dog bullseye and it transforms. Here you go. I know that's my awful rendition there of a Transformer sound. I don't know. What do you want from me? It's getting late. But with that said, yeah, I still don't think I'm going to get this, but if you want it, go for it. It's $60, and you can probably find it at your Targets or Target online right now. So those are the things available right now that I thought were kind of fun to talk about. And as I said, as news happens, I will make short little videos and do some announcements. We'll see. We'll see how this goes going forward. Again, comment down below. Let me know what you think, what you want to see more of, what you want to hear more of, the things you like, the things you don't like. What do you think kind of content do you want to see? Like I said, I got that top 10 toys coming, talking about some G.I. Joe exclusives from the last few years. And yeah, just going to roll out the toy content as it comes. And hopefully grow this channel out like I did with the original channel, Renovision. But in the meantime, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, make sure you tell your friends so we can keep growing this tiny little channel. Check out the links down below for our Discord, as well as memberships over at Renovision to get early access to some of these videos. And make sure you check out Whatnot if you haven't already, and get yourself a free $15 for first-time users. It's $15. $15 to buy whatever you want from whomever you want. It's not like I'm saying you got to go buy something for me for $15. No, $15 to do with it whatever you want. And for first-time users, and if you do, not only will you help the channel, but you can get yourself something for free and give yourself and just try it out, see if you like it or not. Because you got all those little live auctions, as well as people do buy it now on Whatnot as well. So give it a try if you haven't already. And with that all said, I'm going to wrap up and start thinking about what to do next here on the channel. So help me out. Like I said, let me know in the comments down below. And I will see you all later. All right.